this is half a leg here.
Okay.
The other half is
There.
there. It's called Decaville, and it's like a card. It's the common handle that I use.
I think we're ready for the
Um,
studio tour.
I'll show you the sewing machine that I use
Yeah.
now.
I don't hear you. I think your microphone is off. Okay. Okay.
Are we all okay?
Yeah, we are. Luba Dubil is the creative force behind Home Junkie, an independent UK-based business dedicated to transforming old denim into one-of-a-kind bags. She's also an active member of our Denim Upcyclers Facebook community, and many members, myself included, have become true fans of her work. Luba kindly agreed to meet up and answer some of our most frequently asked questions. Let's dive right in. Hi, Luba. I'm so glad to have you here in that virtual space. It's such a pleasure to meet you and to learn a bit more about your process.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. So I feel absolutely honoured that you've asked me. Okay, so I started probably summertime last year, and yeah, it's just developed from there. I started as a hobby. My background, I did a lot of recycling and stuff before, but in woodwork and upholstery and things like that. But due to ill health, I had to stop it. And I couldn't sit still. I had to do something. I felt I need to do something. So a good friend of mine gave me a sewing machine and I started
Really?
sewing.
This is last year.
Yes, this
So
is last
you
year.
only got into sewing last year.
Pretty much, yes. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh my God.
And so it's all self-taught. Well, with the help of YouTube. So YouTube is my Bible. It's just
Do you have
practice.
a favorite like channel you'd like to share with us? Or
I
couple of friends?
don't. I just if there's something I don't know, then I just put it into YouTube and I watch a few videos. It doesn't matter who it is, where they're from. Um, I just watch it and I learn from there.
I would love to actually I would love to see one of your latest bag, but if you have like around your first project, I would love to
Oh,
see it as well.
unfortunately, well, my first project
Yeah, what was
is
it?
my picture on my profile. Unfortunately, that was sold. That
Okay,
went very
good for you.
quickly.
Good for you.
But I can show you this one I made
Oh, wow.
recently. So that's
Amazing.
it. And then obviously
Yeah, show us inside.
zip. Let me just open it up.
Wow, so much room in there.
It is. You could get a lot in there. So there's a zip.
Yeah.
So in total, we've got 1, 2, 3 pockets on the front, one in the back. You've got a zippy pocket there, another pocket here, and then obviously the main compartments there.
Outstanding. Like I feel there's so much composition into your bag. Like everyone looks so unique and thought through.
Yeah.
So I would love if you could walk us through like the steps, like your process of making a bag. Like how does it start? Is there a sketch? Is there or it start from the denim you have available? Like,
Okay.
let us know.
Right. So, I mean, I go through my denim. I have a little stack of denim
A
at all
little.
times. A little stack. It can get out of hand, but and I just pick a couple of pieces of denim. They're usually a pair of jeans. And I start deconstructing them. I cut them open. I take the waistband off, and so they're big pieces of legs as such.
Okay.
And then it's I still I tend to have a vision of what the bag is going to look like. So an idea. So usually, like with the bag that I just showed you, that's my go-to sort of shape. But if it's a nice pocket on the jeans already, then what I will do is I will cut a square sort of piece, and I'll use that as the main piece. And then I will add, if it's going to be a bigger bag, then I'll add sections. So like this one, there's 3 sections here. So there's a section there. That was the main part. That was the main pocket. And then I added a section there, another section there, and another section there,
I see.
you know, to make it wider. Because you're not we're not very fortunate getting very big, large jeans. So we have to make up.
In England, you mean?
Yeah, you know, a lot of the jeans are quite small. You know, we don't get
so
the
you're all
extremely
tiny
large.
and all in England, or what?
Yeah, I wish. But you just it depends what pair of jeans you've got. So what I do is I go for the back pocket, I cut a piece out, and then I work around it. And it's just I cut the pieces out, pop them on the table. And then I start playing around with buttons or, you know, belt hoops and things like that. And I start placing them around. And eventually I get some sort of design. The best thing about upcycling, there's no rule. It doesn't have to be specific. There is no style. You just go with your heart. The most important thing is to enjoy yourself, and that's what I do.
And what about the lining? Like, is it also upcycled, or you work with like specific fabric, and also do you have some stiffener in
So I depending on what sort of bag it is, like this one here. This is more stiffer. Yeah. So the bottom, the sides, the front, and it's called Decaville, which is, and it's like a card.
Okay.
And it's quite stiff, and this you can have either an iron-on one, or I don't use the iron-on one. I use this and an adhesive spray.
Okay, is there a reason for that, or?
I just feel I can work better with it.
With the adhesive spray?
Yeah, so I just use a normal contact spray.
And how is it is it very volatile, the glue, like in your sewing space?
No, it's fine, because you only have to use a little bit, and there's no hard smell to it or anything like that. You don't smell it.
So you feel it glue better?
I think it adheres good. It's a nice. It's for quickness as well. And then, you know, you can move it around. It's not, I mean, like with this bag, you can still bend it around, but it'll always go into shape.
And is it like one big, do you like assemble all your piece of denim first, and then like the sniffer is one big piece, or it's all like the same
separate pieces? So for the front, I have one piece of Decaville.
There.
The back, I have another piece. Side, bottom, side. And what I do, which I've learned, it's all self-taught, because at first I was taking the Decaville right to the top, you know, to the seams, and I obviously sewing through Decaville and denim and the fabric. It's very thick. So what I do is I stop just short. of the seams,
Yeah.
and that helps to obviously go through the sewing machine and everything, because I haven't got an industrial sewing machine. It's just a basic model.
Yeah, you can show us later when
I
we do
will
the
do.
studio
I
tour.
will do. So, and it's just it's trial and error. You know, I find as I've got on, you know, I've used different products and everything, and I found. Yeah, the Decaville works. It can be expensive. That I do have to buy that. So unfortunately, that's not recycled. But it's a good product and it helps with the bags. And then there's other bags where I use. Just bear with me. This is another stabilizer that I use, and it's just like a
fluffy.
fabric one, yes, fluffy.
Yeah.
And that one is used in this bag here. So it keeps its shape, but it's still quite soft, and it's
and then the lining, is it what do you use as a lining?
The lining, it's all recycled. So I usually go to the local charity shop, or you know, and whether it's curtains or pillowcases or duvet covers, you know. So I try and keep. Well, no, actually, I was going to say that I try and keep it plain, but you know, there's sometimes lots of flowers or you know different designs, but. A lot of the time it's a plain fabric. It's usually like a linen type fabric, because I think that's quite durable, but it's whatever's available. You know, I go, oh, I like that, I'll have that, you know. So and the proceeds of my purchase helps the charity shop, so it's
exactly, and it's all such a great loop. And also I also really like to use like pillowcases and sheets. Sheets as a lining, because most of the time it's cotton, and it's also like a very tough resale for the charity shop. So so I think it's just great to do something with it.
It's a win-win situation, and you get so much more fabric when it's a big sheet, a bed sheet or a duvet cover. You get so much more value for money.
Tell us about the handle, because I know like many members are wondering like what to do with handles. So do you use like leather, fake leather? Is it recycled? Like do you buy them all done already? Like what's the...
No, so I make my handles myself. I was fortunate to get
show us the handle.
The handle. Okay, so this is the common handle that I use, which is again on this bag.
Yeah. It's so beautiful.
So and then this bag is just a straightforward handle. So I was fortunate to get my hands on some fake leather, vegan leather, and they were just long pieces, and I cut it out, and it is very easy to do. So you get the shape. So obviously I cut it out wider, and so I cut it out about, you know, that wide, fold it over, and I get a cord, or I get the hem of jeans.
I love that.
Jeans.
Yeah, so you put that inside.
Yeah, so what I do is I usually tie a little bit of I sew a little bit on the end, so I've got a string, and I push it like that, and then I'm able to sew this down without having to struggle with that already in. I sew it down, and then what I do is then get the string and pull it through, and then it goes in easy. A lot of people find it difficult because they think they've got to have the cord in straight away and try and sew round the cord. But no, don't do that. All you've got to do is get a piece of leather or denim or whatever, find the cord, or again, a bit of
I love that
denim
idea.
hem,
Yeah.
and just push a little bit through like that. Get it ready, mark it, and then sew it down, and then just pull it through. It is quite simple. And before I sew it, obviously, because there's already some holes in there ready, what I do is I get a little owl, and punch it through. It's just practice, you know. I mean, if you saw the first handles I made, they were shocking. They weren't good, but it's practice. And so what I do now is a little template, put the holes in ready, and then with these ones I then hand sew them onto the bag. So I use a wax thread, and that's more like for leather, which bear with me.
Do you wax them yourself, or you buy them already waxed?
No, it's already waxed.
Okay.
So it's obviously it's a thicker thread and a nice big needle.
Yeah. And you do some stabbing.
Yeah, and I just sew it, you know. So just a normal stitch in and out, and that's it. And what I do is that I usually put a bit of Decavil on the back. So I get a piece of Decavil, put it on the back of the denim, and then put the handle there. So it sews through, you know, and that just helps it secure the handle.
Yeah, amazing. We've been talking about deconstructing, but I would love to see, like, do you use some special tool to this? What do you use as a tool to deconstruct your denim? Do you work more with scissors or?
Scissors. You know what? This is the best investment. You know, a good pair of scissors, it just makes it so much more easier to work.
Yeah.
You know, a good pair of scissors. These weren't overly expensive, but yeah, a good pair of scissors is always the best thing. I also
which brand do you?
You know what? I actually don't know, but they're just
all metal.
Yeah, all metal.
Yeah.
I think it's a Japanese steel one.
Okay.
But you know,
they're very good at it.
It's one of those things. Just I think it was they were about £15.
15?
So it's not
50 pounds?
15, one £5. So not overly expensive.
Yeah.
I know you can spend a lot, but though I took the chance and they've been great. So
amazing. So you cut. Do you unpick sometimes? Or?
Yeah. So I use a little razor. It's got a little hook, so that can go into the seams, and then they just shred the seams. So I find though this one for the waistband to detach from the actual jeans.
Do you have to change the blade very often, or
no? Because I've had this probably 6 months, and
really
it's still good. Wow. It's still good.
Okay.
And then obviously the picker. You know, so it's that's always handy to have.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so those are my three main things.
Amazing.
My little snippers.
Yeah, totally. Do you unrip? Do you unpick with the snipper as well sometime, or no?
No. It's sometimes it's just getting the threads cut short or whatever, and Also, when you obviously deconstruct and you get the old thread from the jeans, so a nail file.
That one I didn't know. I never
You know
tried.
what? You learn things and you find
Yeah.
things comfortable.
Show
So
us. Yeah.
you've got your thread, a bit of thread there. So what I do is I just go like that, and the thread comes out.
Wow. Okay. That's
You
great.
know, so and this also helps when you want to fuzz up fray the edges.
Yeah.
So what I do is I snip, and then I get
You use
the
this.
nail
Amazing.
file and go like that, and it fluffs it up easy.
Yeah. You know, I do have some sandpaper in my sewing box
Yes.
for that. But the nail, the
nail
the
file,
nail stick, I never thought of.
Absolutely. Well, that's it.
Great.
I did use sandpaper before.
Yeah.
And then the one day I just picked up the nail file and I thought, oh gosh, yeah, this is so much easier because it's so much easier to hold and everything, you know.
Exactly.
And you can get into the little nooks and crannies, you know. Yes, those are my main tools.
I love that.
You know, that I always have to hand.
I think we're ready for the studio tour. Are you? Studio?
It'll take all of 2 seconds, literally.
So tell us, like, where are you? Like, you're in your house.
I'm in my own house. I'm in a spare bedroom. My children moved out last year. They bought their own houses, so I had a spare bedroom. So yes, this is my little hideaway. You know, this is my own little space. And all the furniture here is recycled. So there's nothing new here. So I think it's a great little place. And everything has been repurposed or recycled, you know.
Do you do furniture repurposing as well? Or?
Yes, I used to do a lot of that beforehand, but obviously with ill health, I wasn't able to carry it on. So that's why I chose the sewing to keep my hands busy. So, right, okay, so right, so this is where I display my bags.
Wow, amazing. So are they always displayed like this, or you made it special for the occasion?
I've just tidied it up. So
that makes me feel better about my own space.
Oh, trust me, it's usually chaos in here. When I start making bags, I have all the denim out and they're on the table, it's on the floor, and I just start picking at things. And it's my little mad room, you know. And I think there's some sort of organization in the chaos, but I like it. So it doesn't matter what sort of room you have, you know. I think as long as you're happy, you just enjoy it. It doesn't matter what size room or what you've got, or, you know, just enjoy it. Absolutely enjoy it.
Exactly.
So this is my stash of denim and fabrics.
So how is it sorted out? Like, do you have like stretch and 100% cotton? Is it like, how do you manage it?
Right, I try not to use stretch denim. I have used it before, but obviously then I have to use a lot of stabilizer, iron-on stabilizer to cope with the stretch. It doesn't really bother me, you know, I will use it. But I tend to go with the more robust denims. So it's usually men's jeans, you know, because they're more robust. Yes, so that's just my little stack of denim.
We want to show it again. Show it again. We want a full view of the stack of denim.
Right,
okay, so mostly cotton. So is it all scraps, or do you?
So this is already. This is half a leg here.
Okay.
The other half is
there.
And then I keep absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So I keep lots of little bits. And then there's more denim, brown denim. And
Okay.
then this I picked up from the charity shop,
Mm.
which is lovely.
Mhm.
And I've used it on a bag, and I've used it for the lining. So, you can get some nice fabrics. Then that's a bed sheet, which I've used for a lining. And then you just go further on down. There's different colours of jeans. This is my desk. this is
Great,
what
nice
this is
setup.
where the magic happens,
In
or
front of
the
the window.
in front of the window.
Yeah.
So again, this is a recycled desk I found that was going to a tip. So I saved it, and it's a nice little area. That's all my little junk area.
Yeah.
Then this is my sewing machine, one of them.
Mm-hmm. Which
So
brand?
this is a Singer Melody,
Okay.
and it's an old sewing machine.
Yeah.
It's mainly metal.
Yeah.
Um,
But
this
you can
bit's
carry it around.
Yeah, so you can carry it
Yeah.
around. So
Yeah.
it is a domestic sewing machine.
Yeah.
And it's probably from the 1970s, that
Mm-hmm.
sort of era.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? This is what I started on. This is how I made most of my bags. And it's great. So you don't need an expensive sewing machine
Mm.
at all to make bags, or you don't need an industrial sewing machine.
And you can go
It's
through many layers of denim with
I've
that
had no
machine.
problems whatsoever.
Mm.
The trick is to get through the layers of denim is to bang it down.
Mm.
Either get a hammer,
Mm.
or I use my little, wait for it,
Yeah.
my green
Oh,
machine.
but this is for rivets. For
It's it is for rivets,
yeah.
but I also put the denim through there
Yeah.
where my
Okay.
finger is,
Yeah.
and I bang it down. And
Nice.
it works
Nice one.
perfect. It
Yeah. Yeah.
works perfect. And that obviously compresses the denim down. It helps it go through the sewing machine. My threads, lots of threads, which
Ooh.
were all donated to me, which
Yeah.
I'm so
Which kind of
thankful.
thread do you use? The polyester thread,
Yeah. I tend to use a more
nylon?
heavy duty one.
Yeah.
So this I'll show you the sewing machine that I use
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a Singer
Ah,
heavy
the heavy
duty.
duty. Okay.
Yeah. So
Mm.
it's basically the same model as my old one,
Yeah.
but it's a newer brand.
Yeah.
Yes, it's got lots of stitches and
Yeah.
everything, but I don't use I use 2 or 3
Yeah. It's
stitches, and
always like
that's
this,
it.
You have so
It
many
is. I
stitch,
don't
and
need
you
it.
end up using like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I don't need anything fancy, I just need a straight stitch, a zigzag, reverse, and job done. And the thread is usually on a big coil like that.
Okay.
It's hang on. It's a thicker thread.
Yeah. And is it a separate, like the thread holder, is it a separate one from your machine to be able to hold such a big
Yeah.
coil, or?
So I managed to find a stand, which I popped that
So you
on.
stand it behind? Can we see
Yeah,
the?
sorry, can you
Yeah.
see that?
Just
So
lower.
there,
Yeah.
can you
Okay. So it's
see?
separate
Yeah,
from the machine.
yeah. So
Cool.
I just found the stand, and
Yeah.
I've just attached it to the table. It just
Cool.
helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, I
Yeah.
usually put it to the side there.
And it works. You don't have any like sort of tension problem or stuff like
No,
this.
no, 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 no. This
Okay.
it works absolutely fine.
Okay.
So you just it's trial and error.
Yeah. Of course.
You
We're
find
stuck in that
somewhere what's
process.
comfortable. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that you don't need all the expensive gear
Mm,
to sew.
yeah.
You can do on a domestic sewing machine, no
Yeah.
problem.
I'm curious, the old machine versus the new Senior heavy duty. What would you can you see like what's the difference
Okay, so
sewing with them?
as in performance, the old one is a lot slower.
Okay.
It's not got as strong a motor. So when I was sewing with that, it was a lot slower. But that's okay,
Yeah.
because I mean, you see some people with the industrial sewing machine, it's like zoom, zoom, zoom,
Yeah.
I'm not like that, I tend to take things easy, so I think with bag making, it's not about speed. You just need to
Mm,
go gentle.
yeah.
With the
With
newer
denim
one,
too, because it's a very thick fabric, so
yeah,
it's like when you're holding something heavy, you take your
yes,
time. So I feel like sewing denim is it's a bit of a slower process. You have to
it
give
is.
some time to the needle to go through that
Yeah.
fabric, and yeah.
Yeah, so with the new one, it is a stronger motor,
Mm,
and it does go that bit faster.
mm,
But between the two,
mm,
there's not a huge difference,
mm.
So that was my little treat to get myself a newer sewing machine.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's great now because the one I use for the lining, so I don't have to keep swapping and changing the threads. So the
Yeah,
old one is for the lining, and the new
perfect.
one I do for the
Yeah,
denim.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just a nice little. I feel blessed to be
Have
able to
both.
have two,
Yeah,
but having one sewing machine was just great,
yeah, perfect.
so I just want to say, it's not about having lots of money and having fancy
Mm,
equipment or
yeah.
anything, like it's not.
No, you can thrift shop
You,
everything. I've been
yeah,
sewing with thrift shop stuff for so
yeah,
long.
exactly,
Yeah.
and I think that's the best thing. I mean, because like the first sewing machine was given to me by a
Mm,
friend, and I just feel so blessed
mm,
that it's helped me to get to this stage of where I am,
yeah.
making bags and everything, and it's just been such a wonderful journey, such just a happy journey.
Yeah, well, it showed.
And
It showed. We see your bags, and we see like all the love and the passion. And I'm so impressed that you are only been into like bag making for a year. It's just like
yeah,
outstanding. Uh, I would love to know, like, you're from Codsall in England.
Cotswold in South Staffordshire, England.
England. Do you know, like, in your inner circle, is there any other like denim upcyclers? Have you connect with some
You know
denim
what?
upcyclers?
No, it's no, I don't know of anybody around here that does it.
Okay, so maybe like if there's some denim upcyclers from the group, just like
Get in
say hi in
touch.
the
I'd
comments
love to
box.
hear from you. Yes, yes. I must admit, the majority of my bags go to the USA and Canada and
Mm,
Australia.
mm,
And yes, my bags go very quickly, which I feel so grateful for. I feel very fortunate that people love my bags.
So what's the name
And
of your business and
it's
where we can buy them? Like, do you sell online? Do you have your website,
um
Facebook? What's the
right, so
process?
it's Home Junkie on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I only sell on Facebook
Okay.
because it keeps the costs down. Because
Yeah.
if I got a website, then
Yeah.
obviously I'd have to put my costs up and all this
Yeah.
lot. So I want to share my bags out, and I hope there'll be lots of people that can afford it. They're very reasonable prices. They're not extortionate at all.
What's the price
Um,
range?
they range between £20 to £100.
Okay. Yeah.
And so with the postage, I mean, to the USA, postage is roughly about £20.
Mm.
And the postage takes about 7 days, and it's fully tracked.
Mm.
So the customer knows exactly when their bag is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so if somebody wants a bag, they just message me. If the bag is available, then that's great. Sometimes, yes, there's been a lot of disappointments because the bag has already been sold, because they can go very, very quickly.
And they're unique,
Which,
so you only got one chance.
well, this is it. Each bag is
That's also the
unique.
beauty. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Each
yeah,
bag is unique. So
yeah.
you can guarantee nobody will have the same bag
Mm.
as what I make.
Do you make a living out of it, or is it the goal, the goal,
I
or what's like your sort of future
I would
plan?
absolutely love it to be my main job.
Mm.
I would absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think my goal is, yes, for it to be my main job. It'd be absolutely amazing to know that people from all around the world have got one of my bags. That'd be such. I would feel so blessed, and I'd be so grateful.
Just to close up our conversation, because I'm sure we could go on like for
Oh gosh, yes.
all the day. I think I've learned a lot today, and I'm so glad that you shared with us a bit of your wisdom.
Oh,
And and also, I definitely wish you and send you like all the best vibe ever, so your
oh,
goal
thank
can come
you.
true to make a full living out of your bag making. I'm sure if you manage to accomplish all this in a year, I would be curious
You,
to talk to you next year and see
oh,
what
you know
happened.
what?
Bye bye, Lou,
Bye.
and see
Thank you
you.
so much.